Okay, so today we're going to be doing an introduction to film, and we're going to talk about the mise-en-scene analysis. The mise-en-scene analysis is 15 sections long, and we'll look at it when we look at your mise-en-scene project. You're not going to have to look at all 15 aspects of it. Mise-en-scene analysis process is a quite extensive process. We're going to go over the basic overview so you know how to do and what kind of things you're looking for. And it's also going to change the way you look at film. We don't have it often think of when we watch a movie how much work went into planning every single shot and every single angle and every single scene. So they don't just go, okay, we're going to record this scene and go. They put a lot of time and effort into laying the scene out in specific ways, and we're going to look at that. Then we're also going to talk about different types of shots and angles. So there are 15 sections to the mise-en-scene analysis. The first section is going to be dominant. So first thing we're going to look at is where is our eye attracted to first and why. Then we're going to look at the lighting key. Is it a high key light? Are there low key lights? Is it a high contrast? Is it a combination of? Then we're going to look at shots. So what type of shot did they use? And angle, which we're going to focus most of our mise-en-scene analysis on shots and angles. Are we looking up? Are we looking down? Are we looking neutral at the subject? Then we're going to look at color values. What is the dominant color? Are there contrasting foils? Is there any color symbolism? Then we're going to look at lenses and filters in stock. How do these distort or comment on the photographed materials? 7 on your scene analysis is subsidiary contrast. So after the dominant, what is the next thing that our eyes look at? Then we're going to look at density. How much visual information is packed into the image? Is the texture stark, moderate, or highly detailed? Then we're going to look at composition. How is a two-dimensional space segmented and organized? What is the underlying design? Then you're going to look at form. Is it open or closed? Does the image suggest a window that arbitrarily isolates a fragment of the scene, or a proscenium arch in which the visual elements are carefully arranged and held in balance? Then you're going to look at the framing. Is it tight or loose? Do the characters have no room to move, or can they move freely without impediments? Then you're going to look at depth. On how many planes is the image composed? Does the background or foreground comment in any way on the midground? Character placement. What part of the frame space do the characters occupy? The center, the top, the edges, and why? Then you're going to look at staging positions. What ways do the characters look vis-a-vis the camera? And then the last thing you're going to look at is character proxematics. How much space is there between characters and between other objects? So it's a quite extensive process, so that's why we're going to just look at shots and angles, because this is just an introduction. If you studied film more extensively, you would go in depth into all 15 different elements. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this example of mise-en-scene in WALL-E. So this guy goes through and he comments on all 15 aspects for this one shot. So go through and find on YouTube or click this link, mise-en-scene in WALL-E, and he'll take you through all 15 elements that we just discussed. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is shots. So shots is how much of the subject occupies the frame. So first type of shot is extreme long shot, where the subject occupies little of the frame. It focuses on the environment and establishes the scene. Next is the long shot. There is the same distance from the subject as the audience in the theater. So in the long shot, what you would see on stage is the same as you would see in the movie. It gives a sense of distance and detachment, but it also gives the subject room to move. Next shot is a full shot. The subject occupies the frame from near the bottom to near the top. It is used in many action films, and it focuses on the subject while giving them room to move. Next is a medium shot. In the medium shot, about half of the subject occupies the frame. It is used in dramatic films, and it focuses on the dialogue rather than action. Next is a close-up. A small portion of the subject occupies the frame. It focuses on the details, and it gives the viewer a sense of intimacy. And the last one is extreme close-up. There's an extremely small portion of the subject that occupies the frame. It focuses on small detail, and it gives this extreme sense of intimacy and discomfort. Okay, so next thing we're going to look at is angles. So the first angle is a bird's eye view. So it's an extremely high angle coupled with an extreme long shot. So you can't get a bird's eye view without having an extremely high angle and an extreme long shot. It focuses on the environment, and it distances the audience from the action in the scene. Next one is high angle. So the camera is angled downwards. It lessens the size of the subject and creates a sense of inferiority or powerlessness. So with the exception of bird's eye view, you can put any of the shots in with these angles, and that would create your scene. Low angle, the camera is pointed upwards. It increases the size of the subject, and it creates a sense of superiority. Next angle is oblique angle. It is a crazy angle. It creates a sense of discomfort, and it draws attention to the fact that the scene is being filmed. So think of like Blair Witch Project. Okay, next we're going to talk about different types of movement. So pan is a horizontal movement from left to right. So if the camera is panning, then it's moving horizontally. It takes in more of the environment without losing the details. Tilt is a vertical up and down. So pan is left to right, tilt is up and down. It takes in more of the environment without losing details. It magnifies the importance or power of the subject. Zoom in, obviously, is when it moves the lens from far to near, and it focuses on the intention on the detail of the environment. Zoom out is when the movement of the lens moves from near to far, and it focuses on the subject in relation to the environment. Tracking is when the camera operator follows the subject. It's also called the cop shot because Cops was one of the first shows to use tracking. So tracking is when the camera operator is following around the subject. This is commonly used in reality TV shows. Okay, so next we're going to look at the project itself. So film analysis project. For your project, you're going to create a storyboard for a short film. In this, you will specify for each scene what shot and angle you will use. You must use all shots and angles at some point in your film. At the end, you're going to present your storyboard into your class, explaining why you used each shot and angle. We're also going to be doing some mise-en-scene analysis as far as shot and angle together. So we're going to watch some clips from films and we're going to analyze them, and then you'll have time to work on your project.